and now it has the spinny blades of death. Now, over the last couple of episodes, I've been working quite hard on all of this industrial related stuff. But today I want to sort of simplify things a little bit. And I want to just kind of sit down, relax, utilize everything that we've produced thus far, and cook. No, not that kind of cook. The kind where we actually put things in a pot and, well, cook. So what you see behind me is essentially a cooking station that I've put together. So we have some very manual tasks, such as putting things in a pot. We can do that. We can also cut things on a cutting board, and I have a little decoration here with some smoke looking like it's a hibachi, but we have a skillet which can actually cook things, and then another pot just for decoration. I'm using some kitchen hoods connected to some create pipes to kind of give the effect that we have sort of some vent hoods up here. Now, I could, of course, sit down and do all the cooking I want, and I'm definitely going to do that. And I have some goals sort of set in the form of cooking. Now, there are some decorative items that we can make from the cooking mods. For example, Miner's Delight, Farmer's Delight, Nether's Delight, and even Ender's Delight. All of these items that basically do not have a sort of hunger value associated to them are sort of like decorative items that we can place down and modify in certain ways, but we can also get food from them. But they are like physical blocks that we can place down. Now, these not only make for great decoration items, they're also great food sources, and it does offer quite a bit of food for basically what is a single craft. And well, up until this point, I have been solely reliant on, well, bread and, well, barbecue on a stick and steak. So let's just say I've not really been the healthiest of boys, that's for sure. Now, one of my favorites to actually make is going to be the raw stuffed hoglin. This is by far one of my favorite things to actually make, which is it's from Nether's Delight, because I just love its model when you actually get it placed in. But we are going to need some crimson roots and warp roots from the Nether for this. We also need ham and also hoglin hide. And now, since I don't enjoy killing pigs, this is not exactly a pig, it's a hog. And so in this case, I can do all the slaughtering I want. So here inside of the crimson biome, I need to definitely grab some of this. We also need to hit up a warped version as well, so we can grab some more of these, the warped roots. But I am looking for a hoglin, and I've got to use this knife on it. So this is the knife from Farmer's Delight, and this will allow it to drop the things that we're going to need. For example, the hide and also the ham legs. Now, I do already have hoglin loins. You get those from just using a regular sword. So yes, I just got to scope out these bad boys. And of course, they're never around when you're actually looking for them. Aha! I've spotted the boy right there. And we've just got to, well, take this guy out and notice it drops a whole lot of stuff. And that is what we need. So we need this hoglin hide, and we also need these hams. And well, this is enough to technically make one, but I do want to make enough to sort of place one down as decoration outside of just eating one. And I will save you, buddy. There we go. Now you don't, oh no, I need that though. Hey, can you give me that back? Okay, I guess he's keeping it. And so here we are in the crimson, or sorry, this is the warped. We were just in the crimson. This is the other material I'm going to need. Just kind of the grass on the ground. Now, as far as these fungus go, we actually have those being auto-farmed back at the base inside of our garden cloches. So speaking of those ingredients, I just need to pop over here and grab some of them. We should have some warped fungus, and we also have some crimson. So these combined together will actually make a interesting salad. Yeah, a nether salad. Now, eating this apparently gives us some sort of odd effect that you can see right there. Hopefully it's not some sort of like poison, but we're going to make something very nice. And we're going to use that to make the stuffed raw hoglin right here. And that's basically it. Now, we need to take this and we combine it again with a couple more salads, and we'll actually cook the hoglin just like this. So a few more of those salads, like so. 2 of those, I think. per, and then it goes into a pot to be cooked, and we'll get ourselves some stuffed hoglin. So I'm going to put one here with those two separated like that, and that should start cooking. And then on this pot, I'm going to do the same thing, and those should start cooking. Just like that. So look at that. Who knew cooking could be so much fun? Now, once this is done, it seems to have just spit the bowls out, but we end up right here with some stuffed hoglin. And same on this side. Now, what we can do with this is we can actually place it down, and it looks like this. It is absolutely amazing looking. And I kind of want to take, for example, like, I don't know, maybe some scaffolding. I think scaffolding would look kind of interesting. And we can place down like 2 scaffolding right here and place this down on top of the scaffolding. And like we have like over here in the corner, we have like a full course meal. But where this gets really interesting is when you use the bowl on it. Yeah. This may be a little disturbing, so just fair warning. I mean, it is just a game after all. But if we right click it with the bowl, oh, it says you need a knife. So you have to use your knife first. But there you go. And then you chop off its ears, right? And it starts to open up, and then eventually we're going to scoop. So we keep using the knife until it says we can't do it anymore. And then we use the bowl to start scooping all of the pieces off of here, one by one. And notice every single version of this can be used for decoration, right? So you can place it down and choose like how stylized you want each of these decorations to be, even leaving like this last thing, which is a nice little mat here. And this would actually look pretty good on a double door like entry mat in the nether. I mean, just look at that. That would look pretty cool. And then when we right click it, we just get bones back. So you get a lot of food from this. I mean, it's very, very good food. Like this is a full course meal. This is some stuffed hoglin ham, which is a fulfilling meal. And then we also get some hearty meals, and these are sort of light meals out of the ear. So you do get some very useful things. You get 2 ears, by the way. So, I mean, definitely worth it. But I really like it mainly for its decoration. This is a great centerpiece on a table. And you cannot say that that is not absolutely fun to sort of harvest. I don't know. I found that to be very, very enjoyable, especially the first time I did it. Now, there's a lot of these that have been added. Specifically for Farmer's Delight, there's this rice roll medley, which can be placed down as well. This requires kelp, and it does have like an extensive sort of crafting recipe. So you have to go through, first we have to get some rice, by the way. And I might as well get this started. So I do have a little bit of rice here, but we have a lot more rice inside of our cabinet. That's what I'm going to be calling it, right? Is a cabinet. We have these rice pinnacles, and I can place these down on the cutting board, and I can cut them by hand. Or there's something else we can do. There is actually a thing in here that we can just utilize. That is the slicer, I believe. Yes, it is called the slicer. And the slicer is a very interesting machine. So it can do all of the cutting board tasks. So if we place an item on the cutting board, not our knife, but if we place like these on the cutting board and we right click, we get our items back. Just like that. But we can use create to actually do it for us, and it can do it inside of off of a belt, or it can even do it inside of a basin. Now I kind of want to test this out inside of our create factory here, and I want to add this in to our factory. Now I'm going to need a gearbox for this. Let's see, gearbox, and I'm going to be able to pull off of here, and if I use a shaft connected to that and a cog, I should be able to easily power this. So this is going to go directly above our belt, notice like that. And then if I use a cog coming off of that, I can then power it. Now it doesn't have anything on it yet, but I should be able to give it a knife. And now it has the spinny blades of death. That is horrifying looking, but it should work just like this. We run the items over, and after feeding it in, and it will then chop the items and give us the byproduct. So I definitely want to make sure I'm on this side of the rope, not over there, because that is horrifying looking. But I should be able to put the pinnacles here, and look at it go. And it is producing our straw and our rice for us. So we've pretty much automated the process of using our knife on a cutting board. That is awesome. Now, apparently, this is also supposed to work in a basin. At least so it says. And by the way, this straw can be used to make canvas, which the canvas can then be used to make a basket, which is a pretty awesome thing. Kind of works like a hopper from the top, but this can be pushed to any side. So you can lay it on its side and then it'll hopper from the side. It'll hopper upside down. It's pretty neat. It can also be waterlogged. However, the face of it does not contain the water, whereas all the other sides of it does. That's the only kind of drawback. I really wish the whole thing sort of contained water just like a leaf block does, and then it would work insanely well for a cobble generator. And this is what I was meaning when I said it can be waterlogged, but unfortunately the face doesn't allow the water to stay in, but it does on all of their sides. Now the canvas can also be used to make these really nice canvas rugs, which look very, very nice, but also there's the tatami mats that you can apparently make. And if we grab this, and we make it a mat, I think by default, this is what the block looks like. I'm not a huge fan of the block, but it broken down, we get our tatami mats, and those look a little bit better. And then they go even further into this version, which then is just a single block like that, sort of like a trapdoor. And I think the effect of these sort of lowers your fall damage if you land on them. This whole thing is going to be super, super nice. Having that automated knife, this is great, because I do need the raw salmon, which we are going to need to get from cutting it with a knife. That's just one of many, many operations. And yeah, all of this right here. And now I'm currently working on making the cooked rice. But yeah, I kind of want to see what this looks like. And I really want to have something like this in front of each of these chairs, sort of as their own little dish. Well, aside from the one right here in the fence, if only we could have like a fence food. No, don't do that. I mean, I don't think this is ever going to get old. Yeah, that's, oh man. And it even gives you the bone meal back. Oh, that is disturbingly fast. Now, making the salmon rolls are honestly kind of easy. We can put those together just like that. And we also need cod rolls. So I also did cut up some cod. Yeah, that's gone as well. And the kelp. This one's a little bit different because we have to make the actual kelp rolls, and then we have to cut up the kelp. And so there's plenty of those to go around. And all we have to do now is chop this up. And we are going to make that, which I'm kind of excited to see what this looks like, because I've not really seen all of these placed down. And I mean, this mod totally makes sense because, I mean, at some point, eating the food in Minecraft really does become this kind of obscure thing. Like, you typically go for what's the best food to eat, and then that's all you typically eat in the game. Well, in this, it's not only something you can eat, but it's also something you can use as decoration, which is just the icing on the cake. I absolutely love Farmer's Delight at this point. It has been such an amazing mod to watch all of these add-ons be made for. And I mean, just the fundamental idea of it alone is amazing. So enough of me hyping this mod up. Let's go ahead and make the rice medley. And I'm thinking we should be able to place this down like right here. And look at it. It's a nice little sushi plate. Oh, a food. I love it. It's so good. Look at this, a gorgeous feast. You know, sushi is absolutely beautiful. Like they make it look so good. I just wish I could enjoy it more. All right, and with that, I also have to place another one down. And oh, when we click on it, look, we get all of the rolls. We get our rolls. It's basically like making it look nice. And you just right click until it's all done and you get all of it back. Oh, so it literally is just taking the raw food and just making it pretty looking, which yet again lets you sort of vary what each of the plates look like. Now, another one on the list is honey glazed ham. And now, thankfully, I still don't have to kill a pig. I love that I do not have to kill a pig in order to make this, because we just need the ham leg. And this ham leg, like I said, can be gathered from pigs or hoglins. And I have no problem killing hoglins. But pigs, I'm probably not the only one who thinks pigs are too adorable to kill in the game. Now, in order to get, of course, honey glazed ham, we're going to need our honey. And our honey, of course, is what our train has been driving over here over and over again. And we now have 190 buckets of it. And it's quite a bit. And I do want to place this down in the ground here. And I want to lead this all the way underground. But I am going to need a lever on this. And there is this really fancy lever that has the analog strength that you can kind of choose the level. I'm just going to give this a max level, for example, 15. I just thought it was that was kind of cool. Look at that. That is a really cool looking texture from the create, design, and decor. But anyways, with that lever, I can then run this all the way down to a spout and a depot, and we can use this to fill honey bottles. So just like this, if I route this around, that should start filling up with honey, and all we have to do is put our bottles on the depot, and this is going to automatically start filling them for us. Perfect for our food. See, now at this point, you might be questioning this entire series. Was this entire pack literally just built to make food? I think so. I think it was. It most certainly wasn't all about making steam engines or building nuclear reactors in order to produce steam. No. It was all for the food. I do think, though, the only thing missing is a chef's hat. I really could have used a chef's hat in this. It's just not in here. You know, I am super surprised that Farmer's Delight doesn't actually add a chef's hat. It really should. Now, I need to smoke up some ham, so I'm going to toss this inside of a smoker. And then I need to grab out some sweet berries. And man, the stuff is just stacking up in here. All of these individual flowers and all of this food resource. And with all of that now gathered up, we can make ourselves a couple of these honey glazed hams. And I'm going to go ahead and place down one of the honey glazed hams. And look at that. That is beautiful. Oh man. And this, I guarantee, is going to want a knife. So I'm going to grab just any of the knives. And I'm guessing we slice. Okay, we need a bowl. Yep, a bowl. That's typically what's used for just about everything in here. Ooh, and there we go. So we grabbed out some of the plated honey glazed ham. Oh, and that's so cool. Oh, I love that. There's like the bone. There it is. And then we just end up with the final bone in the middle. And boop, we get ourselves a bone. Now on this, it's good to know the direction because I really like the idea of this being placed sideways. And you can see the ham bone in the back. That looks so good. Oh, I'm definitely going to scoop this for the variation. Oh, I think that looks great. Now, another thing to note is a ton of the pies can all be placed down. So these are very easy for decorations because you just need to make some pie crust, which requires some milk, and milk is infinite. And for example, this is an Ender's pie, and we should be able to place this down and also consume it just like a cake. Yeah, look at that. And all of the pies are placeable just like this. Now, outside of that Ender pie, this is all base Farmer's Delight. So we can actually look at some of the other add-on mods that add some of these really cool plates as well. For example, this is Miner's Delight, and this needs to be done in a cooking pot with some rice and a little bit more complicated of a recipe, but this produces stuffed squid. And if it's anything like the rest of them, this is going to be a very interesting looking dish. Now with this, the only way to get these squid, I believe, is by actually taking on a squid with a knife, and you should get the actual squid body itself from the Miner's Delight mod. Now there's a lot of stuff that does drop from squids, so keep that in mind. Like, it's not this squid from the Cultural's Delight. However, Cultural's Delight actually has a few things as well, but not all of the Farmer's Delight add-ons really have like these kind of full plates. Only some of them do. For example, this one right here. Now, this is going to require a little bit of rice and eggs, and there are a lot of uses for eggs inside of Farmer's Delight. So it's probably best to have like some sort of chicken farm. In our case, I think we just got them from wandering around. But let's go ahead and put the squid in. And this is also going to require a bowl. And this is like a full course meal that's not done in the crafting grid, which I kind of like. And by the way, this mod is what adds the cave carrots, and these are apparently plantable also. So there it goes. By the way, this will cook the food and keep it in the pot, and even if you don't have the bowl available for it. So something kind of cool to note. But there we go. So I have all of this. I'm going to make 2 of those as well. And that should pop in there very quickly. Oh man, it'd be really cool if there was an animation on the pot. But there's stuffed squid. And like I said, this is going to be an interesting looking dish as well. Oh, look at that. That is fantastic looking. And I guarantee, let's see. Okay, so we need a bowl for this. Yeah, it's going to have different stages. So, oh, it's slowly uncovering all of the rice inside. Oh, that is great. And there went the tentacles. And we're left with this. So all of these different variations of that meal. Just look at that. And now we have all of these like stuffed squid. And these are fantastic meals, by the way. Giving you nourishment for 5 minutes. That is a lot of time. And yet again, we have another beautiful looking dish. I'm going to place this one over here. That is just gorgeous. So now I am definitely leveling up my cooking game, but the next task is going to be even crazier. So there is another mod in here called Brewing and Chewing, and this mod right here adds a ton of stuff, like a lot. So at Brewing and Chewing, you'll notice there is a ton of different like alcoholic drinks. So we have beer and all kinds of goodies like that. There's also coasters that kind of hover these items to showcase them. But this is a crazy looking item right here, the fiery fondue pot. Yes, and this one requires quite a few steps. So we're going to have milk that is in a bucket form. We're going to need bread. We're going to need some potatoes. We're going to need some ham, but we're also going to need tomato sauce, which that one's pretty straightforward to get, right? I believe we can do it inside of a pot. Yeah, so we can make that, or we can make it with Create. But there's also this Scarlet cheese wheel, and this is something completely different. This is something that is made inside of a keg. Along with all of these other beer materials, these are also made in a keg. But it looks like milk, and there's a little bit of honey, and I have no idea what this bar is. But to make a keg, it doesn't seem too bad. And this is also another decorative item. Like, this thing is adorable. Look at that. You would have a whole shelf of kegs on top of kegs. What? I love that. It is amazing. Okay, I think to decorate with this better, we're gonna have a keg right here. So we have kegs going sideways, and I have a couple of kegs right here. That is perfect. Okay, but inside these kegs, they work very similar to this cooking pot, it seems. So to be able to make Scarlet cheese wheels, we need a couple of crimson and some sugar. So crimson and sugar. That's pretty straightforward. And then a honeycomb. And we have tons of honeycombs. So if we put this in here, two of those, this, and then a honeycomb down here, this is supposed to ferment down with some milk. So let's grab some milk. And over time, this is going to turn into cheese. Over time. I don't know how much time that's going to take. And I also don't know what this bar means here. Maybe that's something to do with humidity levels? I'm going to have to give this a look up. Or maybe just some testing? I mean, we could go into the nether here. And let's see, if I place down one of these, does it change that bar? Oh, it does. So it is based on heat. Huh, so how do I get it at exactly that one level there? So I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with maybe a desert biome? And yes, warm too has something to do with the desert. Perfect. So now we should be able to make it. And I do need to make a couple of these, I think. But I put the milk in here. Aha. And there we go. Now this is going to start processing. And wow, that does... I don't see any progress bar. I love the little tap here. I don't see a progress bar, so I have no idea how long this is going to take. I mean, if it's anything like Stardew Valley, it's going to take an entire fortnight. Never mind, there's the progress bar. It's just insanely slow. So, since it's going to be quite slow, me and my little friend here, the Tarantula Hawk, are going to watch over these two kegs, which are in the process of making this. Now, this did take almost a full night, but I do have the unripened Scarlet cheese, 2 of them to be exact. Very interesting that it requires like this particular biome, like a kind of a warmer biome, to do that. That's pretty nifty. Now, as far as the cheese goes, it just has like placing it down, it looks like, and like a timer, assuming that it just takes some time. Some time. And so I'm going to build a little shelf for this. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a cheese preserving shelf. I really don't know what you would call this, but it is going to go right here and it's going to house all of our cheese. So I'll put a board here and a board here, and then we just need a board on top to close it all up. Wait, like that. There we go. Perfect. And now we should have ourselves a cheese shelf. Perfect. And do these just go right on the shelf? They do. And they just are going to sit here. Oh, this one's going to have to be a little bit taller, isn't it? Because I can't put the cheese... I mean, I can put the cheese on the floor. Why would you want to do that, though? Yeah, just one taller. Now, I wonder how long this is actually going to take, though. Like, I have no idea. Like, it could take a whole day. It could, there's no actual time given on the timer, so it could take a very long time. And I don't think the stairs are a good idea on this this shelf. We should probably just make some more trapdoors, and that'll be good. So after waiting a little bit, it honestly wasn't that long. This did finally turn into a Scarlet cheese wheel, and this is awesome. I really like this whole process. This one is still sitting here and still has not been ripened, but I think I have all of the stuff now. I made up the tomato sauce in the meantime, and I think now I have everything I need in order to make this. So we just need milk. And I want to make at least 2 of these. Like, I want one for decoration and one to actually look at and see what the different sort of processes are. But yeah, ham, we should have a couple of those. And let's see, potatoes and bread. Bread, we definitely have, and potatoes. This sounds delicious, by the way. Like a cheesy oh man, that sounds just so good. Oh, with the tomato sauce, like this has got to be like very pasta tasting. The potatoes and everything. I mean, I have no idea. This sounds delicious IRL. I want some of that. That sounds delicious. All right, so let's go ahead and toss this in. It looks like it goes like this. Now, I don't know if we can't just send it in by clicking the moved items. Oh, it's also going to cost a cauldron. What? Is this something that's literally in a cauldron? That is a little bit ridiculous. Okay, that's cool though. We'll put the potato in. Oh, I don't have the tomato. I just had it all. Okay, so yes, I can click it in just like that. So yeah, you can just have it automatically go in the pot if you have the ingredients in your inventory. Perfect. That makes it so much easier. So this is going to cook up real quick. And if that means it goes in a cauldron, then I might, like, if we're going to actively place it in, I might just place it right here on the side of this. Like, they're going to be dipping into this. Wait, it gives you back a bucket? And it gives you back this. Okay. And it is in a cauldron. That's kind of cool. And so does this require a bucket? It's literally the cauldron. And it's just going to give you back the cauldron. That's awesome. And that's even better food. That is a crazy good food. Nourishment for 6 minutes. I kind of just want to leave that here right now. That is a beautiful looking thing. You can even see the ladle in there. Even has its own like smoking animation. That's great. I think though I want to cover the outside with a trapdoor to make it sort of fit into this whole table a bit more. Now some other cool things I want to do is I actually want to brew up some beer, and to do this it's just water and wheat, and we also need one of these tankard cups right here that we can put in. And that should fill with a brew, and we should be able to display that on the table. So while my beer is cooking, some other notable mentions is the roast chicken, which is another sort of thing that uses a bowl. So I'll grab a couple bowls here, and this, let me put this over here. This actually has a really, really cool look to it. Yeah, it's a regular chicken, but whenever you start to use the bowl on it, that's when I think this starts to look really nice. And yeah, it goes all the way down to it just being a chicken carcass. Just like that. And you have a ton of roast chicken out of that. It's not as big of a meal as the stuffed hoglin, of course, but that is another one. And then we also have this, which is the stuffed pumpkin, which I should be able to easily put that together. And then for the stuffed pumpkin, it literally goes in a pumpkin, and there it goes. Yes, and we can consume it with more bowls of stuffed pumpkin. Now I should have, I think, everything needed. Yeah, there's our beer, and it gives us tipsy, apparently. That is kind of funny. Now, I think from the brewing and chewing mod, there is an item coaster, but when I was looking at this, yes, it kind of makes it spin, and I don't know how much I enjoy that. I wonder, will it display properly in a item frame? Not exactly. Very interesting how that does display. I wish it would display the same way and just be like a solid item, not necessarily floating and spinning. Now that is more like it. Having the beer, for example, on an item frame that is on a fence is a little bit more believable. Still not perfect as it's not on the ground, but yeah, a little bit better. And then of course, to get the tipsy effect, it's literally going to give us tipsy for 8 minutes. Surely this is not a bad effect, right? What does Tipsy even do? If it just made us randomly trip, that would be hilarious. But I have no idea. So far, it doesn't really seem like it's doing anything. But it could be just because of the base effect. I have no idea. Now, I think to sort of finish the rest of this up and also get some cups that are actually cup looking, we can go ahead and use this. So this is from Handcrafted, and there's also some plates, which are very, very nice. There's also, like, whatever this is, a combo? Like, I guess that all fits in one block space, which will look kind of cool. And yeah, we get like cups and plates and all of this that kind of fits in here like so. Oh, I wonder, can you have like more than one cup in one block space? Oh my God, that is so good. Yes, this is fantastic. And then same with the plates, of course, just placing things randomly. But I think that looks really, really good. Yeah, and there's all kinds of different variants of plates. I really do like the plate combo though. Yes, just give me more of those things. I'm completely down with that. And by the way, to make these, they have to be ran through a saw, and you have to use a filter. So definitely use a filter from Create to filter your saw out. And if you do that, it'll be very nice. Look at this. A plate combo. Boop, right there. Now, of course, with all that, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something new about the Farmer's Delights and all of its add-ons. Because I definitely did. I learned a little bit more about what all of these little kind of decorative blocks look like, and I absolutely love that. That's honestly what I find most enjoyable about Minecraft, is all of the decoration possibilities and the building aspect. So, guys, if you did enjoy, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and well, give this video a massive thumbs up. And let me know down in the comments, what's your favorite plate, food that is in this pack? I would love to know from you. And well, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that huge thanks, by the way, is going to go out to GD3000. So much, by the way, for your amazing support. Thank you so very much. I hope to see you, of course, in the next one. And thank you for supporting me in this journey over on the Discord. And well, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Bye.